No. Studio. Is good? Yeah. Good morning and thanks for joining us once again on your favorite program on radio, political platform, your award-winning Ray Power FM. My name is Abulu Osemahu. Thanks for being there. Today is if you can feel me, a deep breath I took because our founder, High Chief Raymond Dokpesi, will be dust to dust today. Very, very painful one for most of us here in the organization. Talking about AIT, our sister station, Ray Power, Faji FM, the family too is a sad one. The tears keep rolling, and the tributes keep coming to comfort us. And what more can we say? Before we go into other issues, let me welcome my colleague, so that would Shola Jasimi is on the program. Shola, welcome.
Thank you so much, and thanks to those who are joining us on a very interesting day for us. Not just for us in Dark Communications, the staff, but for everybody who has been impacted by the life of engineer Raymond Allen Dokpesi. And today, all eyes will be on the church where the funeral mass will hold. That's the Sacred Heart Catholic Church in his hometown, Agenebode. And if you watch the transmission on our sister station AIT and also listened on Ray Power, you see the grand entry he made into his town, Agenebode, yesterday. The community members in tears, wondering what could have happened to Aniroko, a son of the soil, but who, in my own words, is bigger than the son of a soil. He is not Nigerian, a Pan-Africanist, and someone whose life inspires so many. Some say, well, as humans, he may have had some areas where he could have done better, yes, but overall, engineer Dr. Raymond Dokpesi was a great man, and it's even interesting to me. I'm using the past tense for someone like that. I looked at the TV screen yesterday and I said, High Chief. So we celebrate his life, and we'll continue to say the reason for many who may not even have made the connection. Ray Power, the Ray is definitely from his name. So he lives on. Alejo Dokpesi lives on.
And the DA is Dokpesi Alejo Anthony Raymond. That is the acronym DA. And Shola, 3 remarkable dates that we will not forget in Dark Communications PLC. His birthday, October 27, the day he has always wished that the Nigerian government will use as a private broadcasting day. I hope the government will consider that after his passing. And the day he died, May 29th, remarkable day for us also in this country. Used to be Democracy Day until it was moved to June 12th. Now becomes Inauguration Day every 4 years. Remarkable for us, the day he slept on that unfortunate treadmill. And today, June 22, another powerful day where an Iroko falls and goes under the soil. Dust to dust, the Bible says, and but we will not relent. He has charged us, and I know so many people, even outside the Dark Communications PLC, are charged by his doggedness to see a better Nigeria. He will tell you, Shola, that even the journalists, even in Ray Power, in AIT, some of them have been compromised in fashioning and in working and in setting agenda to have a better Nigeria. His passion, his dream, his desire is to have a Nigeria that is workable. His passion, his desire to have an education system that is working, to have a health system that is working, to have leaders that are that can be called good when you go outside the shores of this country. What more can we say about a man that has touched so many lives outside his community, outside the shores of Nigeria, and even outside? I just came back from Europe, and somebody was telling me, "Oh, my condolence over the death of your boss." I didn't know the white man knows my boss, but he heard, he has seen his works, and Shola, we can write 1,000 books, we will not finish talking about the legacies and contributions of High Chief Alejo Anthony Raymond Dokpesi.
Exactly. So we'll keep tabs on what's happening at Gedebode. Hopefully on the program, we may be trying to get one of our colleagues who may be telling us one or two things. But the service itself, the funeral service starts
by 11. Okay.
So probably we could,
so
if not.
You can join us. You can follow up on our AIT, Star Station, and Raypower. Shola, so many other things happening. A lot of talk about the 114% increase in political appointee salaries, one heavy one, and you also have the issues of the killings in Plateau State. Several issues coming together. Tinubu is in France. Shettima is meeting a UK official here, and we hear that the UK supports the reforms by the Tinubu government. And you have the new acting IG, who has said he's going to roar like a lion, like a tiger, and the killings continue. So many issues in the politics. Also, we see also. We hear that the impeached deputy governor of under Matawali in Zamfara State has been installed, so he's going to get his entitlement from when he was impeached till now, and several issues. Let's start with the 114% increment being proposed by the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission. Shola, I've often said on this program that if a government is giving you a proposal, they've already implemented it. They are just telling you and I that is a proposal, but I'm telling you for sure that probably that amount is included in their new salary scale.
Well, the chances of that happening are slim because we run what I'll call a system where policies are put in place, they are debated before they are approved. The Revenue Allocation Mobilization and Fiscal Commission has the responsibility of fixing the emoluments of these categories of officers, president and all of that. But the angle I'm looking at it is that it's good for our political office holders in that category, president, vice, governor, deputy, to be paid appropriately so that they won't look into the public till. But you and I know that not a few of them have not only looked into the public till, they've put their hand in the public till and they have untilled the public till. A few of them. And when I say a few of them, many of them are facing various cases in various.
You know that we can't call names.
No, we can't call names.
Okay, yeah.
Docked.
Exactly.
Isokalu is one. Jonas Jang, the other man from.
Ahmed Idris.
No, I'm not talking of those who have been.
Yes.
Was convicted, but
Jolly Nyami.
Thank you. Dariye. Yeah. Many of them like that. So we need to encourage them. But the fact remains that whatever the 110% increase is on their salary,
114.
Yeah, you and I know that the money available to presidents, to governors, to vice, to deputies outside this salary is maybe 1,000% more than that pay. And the reason is not far-fetched. Look at the governor. Remember when the governor came, it was Okorocha who said, look, people, every month, I am entitled to over 1.2 billion naira as security vote, which I can spend as I can, but I will not touch it. That's what he said there. So, $1 billion naira every month for a governor to do as he pleases. He doesn't account, to anybody according to how they set these things up. So, what are we talking about? So, what the Revenue Mobilization Allocation is just doing his job. But I know clearly that it's pittance and it's peanut to them. But the sensitivity of this is that at the time we're having excruciating poverty in the land, people are suffering. People call us when they see us talk on it. They believe all the money is in our pocket. I'll tell you, Oga, it's not like that. Too. People are suffering. The electricity tariff will soon be increased. I said I'm Patrick Abulu.
I mean, sorry. Why are we calling our colleagues? So maybe we'll call them again about that people. Shola, what this will imply is that should 114% increment is effected on political appointee salaries, it shows that the gap the poverty gap will expand. Now the middle class might disappear.
I'm coming.
I'm coming.
Let me just quickly chip in. The middle class in this country is already gone. It's either you are rich or you are poor. That's just the truth. Ask those who are in economics and statistics.
Good. That is now your own perception of it. But I see if should 114% increment is effected on political appointee salaries, the middle class is further threatened. The 133 million poor persons recorded last year might increase. And it also shows that the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission is sleeping on duty, because after they moved for the increment of allowances of senior civil servants last 2-3 months ago, and they've been sleeping. They've not made any move. And one should even think that the issue of minimum wage that we're talking about, should it be allowed for Labour to keep struggling every time? The honourable members and the senators who have elected, can they propose a bill? Just put a bill forward and let it pass first to the second reading for increment of salaries, instead of allowing Labour to come and battle and struggle to say we don't want this, we don't want this. By the time you increase the salary, you increase salary to 200,000, for example. I think Labour
of which category of workers? Because it depends.
Now, let's put a flat rate and say minimum or 150,000 and above. Because if you look at the minimum wage, minimum wage, what it means is that both private and public, you should pay this amount as minimum. It is £10.50 when you go to UK, £10.50 minimum wage per hour. So we approved 30,000 minimum wage per grade level 1, step 1 in 2019, April 2019. So it is expected that if you are level 7, that amount is multiplied by 7. So you are supposed to get 210,000 as your salary every month. But that is not happening because the government said they need to go and do consequential adjustment again. And when they do consequential adjustment, you staying in Zamfara is not the same thing as you staying in Abuja, because you're paying high for housing and you pay high for transportation. So now if you increase this 114 for political appointees, what are you? We already have fuel scarcity there, increase in fuel price. We already have electricity threatening to be increased. So what are you cushioning the effect on the poor masses? That's why we talk about providing cheaper transportation. We talk about providing cheaper housing by reducing the building materials. We talk about providing standards in school fees in schools. We talk about fixing our healthcare sector.
Obviously, hold on a second. You're talking about public schools. How many people, still have their kids? Even those top officials, how many of them do have their kids in public schools? These are the things we need to look at. The fact remains that the bourgeois will continue to make every effort to ensure that they are comfortable. It's left for Labour says we'll talk in 2 weeks. They've increased it now. And when Labour keeps talking about workers, if you add the whole aggregate of everybody in public service in Nigeria, everybody, military, police, the agencies, the commissions, the core civil servants, what's the percentage to the Nigerian population?
Yeah,
it's less than 12 million across the states.
Let's welcome Ujoje to the program. And we've been talking about this 114% proposed increment in political appointee salaries. What does this imply? And where fuel is increased, electricity is going to be increased, and I know by the time this term of school is over, they'll be considering increasing school fees. Right, the school, because they have to meet up.
It's a spiral thing, it goes round, because the school proprietor too has to meet up with increased prices of things to use to run the school. But I think that I'm not comfortable with the proposed increase, because you're talking of a situation where citizens are already crying that the government officials are taking undue advantage of the people, and that the salaries are more than they should be getting. And then here we are talking about increase. If anybody deserves an increase at this time, as the poor man, the lower cadre staff in organizations, the civil service, across the states. Because you talk about a minimum wage of 30,000. Now every day, the least that a worker, even a cleaner, spends coming and going back from work is about 500 to 1,000. Now you talk about those who have families. How will they feed? How will they meet up with just even the transport fare? You talk about feeding. Some of them have children in schools and they earn this paltry sum. And then it's like rubbing pepper on an injury when you talk about increasing the one of those who gets millions and then leaving off, except of course if the government is proposing also looking at that. But I think that the junior cadre workers should be attended to first in this instance before increase of any government official salary.
Good.
Especially the governors. And
and that is the conversation in most people are having. That why don't you consider increasing that of the poor civil or the lower cadre civil servants before you go ever consider increasing that of a politician? A politician has come into the business of politicking with his own money, and Obasanjo will always tell you don't go into politics if you don't have a business you are doing. Don't come and enrich yourself with the taxpayers' money. So politicians must have business they are doing before they come into the system. So they should also discourage this issue of increasing their salaries. I think the politicians should come against this increasing their salaries and remember, because they will not sleep with their two eyes closed.
Even as a sign of commitment to the masses that they represent. You understand? Because it would appear a bit insensitive at this point in time, if you ask me. And I know that the masses would be feeling it. And it is not the right time to do so. Most of them are big-time business people. Some of them have retired from government offices before contesting elections. So it's like a double deal for them, which shouldn't be. They're not poor. They're not poor. The allowances alone can feed, clothe, and take care of their families.
Very well. So we wouldn't want to see a situation where the poor getting poorer and the rich getting richer in Nigeria.
I just pray it stops because it has been on.
Yeah.
It has to stop.
Yes. So I hope we're not going to have a lot of rich daddies and poor daddies around. So let's hear from you. When we come back, we're looking at the killings continue. Even though a new IG says it's going to be a lion, and what is happening to state police and other issues. Ario.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome to the next segment.